Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm not late. I know you're all there waiting, anticipating everything. We're all good. Final checks are nearly done. Everything's ready to fly. Let's have a nice, good stream, shall we? Live in a couple of minutes. Right, let's get it on. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you all. How are you all? Here we are with the final stream of the year. Oh, yes. It's the final one for us as we take a break for the Christmas and festive period. I hope you're all lovely and well and happy and looking forward to the festivities as they come towards us. So, what have we got planned this week? I know, obviously, we didn't have one a couple of weeks ago, but we've had a lot of things to work on. But tonight, we are going to be continuing our hard playthrough, as we have always been doing, with a few deaths, I'm sure, along the way, because why not? If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, then please do put them into the chat. Lee is there collecting them all. We'll try to answer them as we go. Then we've got a special interview this evening. Yes, we have. We've got the big cheese, the man himself, Michael, joining us for an interview later on, where we've got some questions that we've been collating to ask him. And I'm sure there might be the odd one or two from the chat as well, who might want to ask a little question here and there. We'll see if we can squeeze them in. We've also got some review videos. Yes, we're going to be looking back at the year of 2024 and how it's all panned out for us at. And yeah, there's some good little bits in there. There really is. And finally, definitely not finally, we're going to be checking out the screenshot of the year for 2024. We've had some of our lovely pilots throwing some great screenshots our way, and we're going to see which one was chosen by the ROCKFISH dev team. And that is, there's some good ones. But, and I've got to say, I know Michael's listening, I know Lee's listening, but we might be able to sneak something in here right near the end. So stick around. Don't go nowhere. I promise. We'll see. We'll sneak something in. I can see Michael's face all the time, actually. So, you know, it's quite unnerving because I can see him off camera just over there. So, yeah, we'll see what he says. He'll be like, "What we doing?" So, yes. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's get into some gameplay, shall we? Let's load up where we were at Shabar Tower. So, indeed. So I'm trying to keep up with the chat as well. It's all flying through. Yes. Excellent. Right, here we are. Shabar Tower. Let's go locate the source of the signal as we were. We managed to get rid of the warden that was here, that was giving us some grief. And, yeah, we just need to line up for the signal because we need to find out where Eduardo's gone. He's gone on a little journey somewhere, hasn't he? Come on, line up. Hello. There we go.
I was able to use various means to decipher the signal, despite the interference from the nearby ancient structure. It is an impressive object, although the distress signal is a more pressing issue. It emanates from the planetoids below. I am readjusting leap settings to reach there.
Hopefully the last stop.
Eduardo.
I can confirm that Aethel 1 is a planetoid with a breathable atmosphere.
Cool. Right, so Aethel 1. I think we might need to actually head somewhere to repair first, though, because if you can imagine that we're looking a little bit on the rough side after a few battles with some various people. So let's just have a look at the map. Shall we go to Okrop? Let's head back there, shall we? Let's get fixed up. I think that'll be a good ploy. Don't drink and fly. That's always a good idea. Never drink and fly. Never. Unless it's water. Rehydrate. Always got to rehydrate. But yes, we've got Michael and we've got Lee in the chat. So, yeah, they're all keeping an eye on everything that you're saying. There we go. Right on cue. He says hello to everybody. Perfect timing. Perfect. Yeah, if you do have a question and you want to see it highlighted, then tag Lee, RFG_Lee, in the chat. Hello. Somebody's trying to shoot me as soon as I come into the building. What? Come on. Do me a favor. Thank you. Anybody else? Oh, you over there. There we go. Oof. Been a little bit precarious there already, wasn't it? People are expecting me to die already. Oops. No, I hit the wrong key. The dubiousness of your ability to have some confidence in me. I'm a bit perturbed. There we go. Right, let's look at that.
Ain't got to you, I see.
Nope, I'm completely myself.
Indeed. So let's get repaired up, shall we? Look at that. Oh, all the damage. Yeah, we'll just get all of those. Right, let's just have a look at my ship. I am level 17, and some of this stuff is level 18, 19 that I'm kind of doing. Oh, okay, they're all the unlocks, aren't they? That's nice. Modules, the same. Consumables, the same. Some catalyst. Oh, I dropped a catalyst earlier. That's very nice. That'll come in handy later on. And a load of new stuff. Baramite, etc., etc. Everybody... I'm starting to worry about you guys. You all just want me to explode into a million pieces. Entertainment value. I get it. Entertainment, yeah. Armor is a good 10%. I think we... do we want to swap that out? 5% increase. Maybe not, actually. Let's see. What we've got anything good in here that we could keep a hold of or sell? That blaster is slightly better than that one, but I do like the perk. So let's get rid. Real gun, no. Marksman rattler. I'll keep that just in case. Although it is mostly kinetic, which the Crimson Sun is doing, but not necessarily the best. Disintegrator we'll keep hold of as well. Got a mainframe there. Wind chaser. I do like the rockets just because of the amount of damage that they can put out so quickly. Corrosions. Yeah, we'll keep hold of them rascals. Get rid of them. We'll get rid of them. That one is part of the rogue set. And that one's part of the rogue set, so that's fine. 1, 2. Okay, we'll keep that one, I think, but we'll get rid of... Hang on. Yeah, we have that dismantled, so we'll just dismantle that one for bits. Let's get rid of that for bits. Always good. Get rid of that one. We don't want that one. No. Rockets for later on. That's okay. Get rid. Rubbish. Keep that. Homing missiles. Not bad. And we'll keep them corrosions as well. They're always good as well. Now, do they actually have anything? That's always nice. And we were struggling with the energy core. Our energy core is a bit rubbish. So do we actually have anything here? No. We need to look. We need to go look. We need to find. Can we craft something? Never forget, if you're always struggling for kind of your modules, is there anything that you can craft? I mean, we can always see. It could be better. Nope, let's do that one. Energy core. It is a little bit better. Not ideal, but it is better. So that's not too shabby. So that gives us a little bit of an increase. And then we can just sell that one off, which is fine. We shall get rid. So. Excellent. Right. Anything else we can do on the perk-wise, just to make things a little bit easier? Nanotechnology. Energy orbs collected. Okay. I've got the 6. Still not got super gel. Dash it, I say. Dash it. Right. So, anyway, I think we'll crack on from here and we'll just see where we can go. There we go. Oh, no, let's just resume. Let's launch. Let's get out of here. Let's move. Right. Let's go back to Earth All 1, shall we? So, I can see some questions coming in. We will answer them in a little while. Probably right near the end of this segment. Which will probably be in about 30 minutes or so. Right. So how have you all been? Have you been good? You know, we need to, find these things out. We need to find these things out because there's a special day coming up, and if you've not been good, you might not get any presents. But yeah, just a reminder that the team are kind of now officially on leave for the winter period for over Christmas at time. I'm still going to be around. We're going to be checking, making sure everybody's happy and behaving themselves over the Christmas. So if you do see anything, hear anything, or need to bring anything to our attention on the community team, please do ping us on the Discord. We always want to, help out where we can.
I'll take the maintenance ship and come to you. You sit tight.
Let's just collect some stuff while we're here. Oh, just grabbed it. Yay.
Why you came to a hell-forsaken place like this? I can't wait to hear.
Here we go.
We're being observed. What the hell is that?
Indeed. Who is that?
What is it?
Not sure.
Holy scrap!
Oh, Maddox, he fell over. That's unlucky. And there we have a person we have been looking for.
Eduardo?
Eduardo.
I was right. I knew it was you. You finally came back for me. Kala! Kala!
You never said your friend was an android.
Yeah,
You think
Maddox.
I'd leave a human out here on a rock in the ass end of nowhere?
You didn't tell us, did you?
It's okay. These are friends. The humans I was telling you about.
You ever encountered an alien like this before?
Nope.
Seen all sorts out here, but no, this is a new one to me.
Always new.
Well,
Always good.
Keep your sidearm at the ready. I don't want any nasty surprises.
Please allow me to introduce Kala, my friend.
Well, hello there, Kala. Nice trick there with the bird. Say, where are you from?
Ulan Thradorka.
Okay, I have no freaking idea where that is. Main thing is, you're not a damn oak, are you?
What is an Okar, Nama?
Kala is of no alien species on file. Although it has been some time since I last linked, she has never even heard of the Okar, which is unusual considering the ongoing war.
Oh, yeah, about that, Eduardo. Okar
Yeah.
War ended 15 years back with a truce, but we still ain't seeing eye to eye. Oh, and Dax is dead too.
Oh, this I will need to process.
Yeah. Good story. Good story. Eduardo, what have you been doing all this time?
I must admit, I was beginning to consider the chances of seeing you again as very slim.
Of course I was coming back for you, buddy, but I didn't think you would get so antsy and just jump asteroid like that. Don't you have an inbuilt gaming routine to keep yourself occupied?
I was brought out of sleep mode by a local distress signal. The signal was, however, one I could not interpret and matched nothing in my databases. I simply had to
See,
decipher
that's
it.
why.
It awoke the
He was quite happy until he got the
Precisely.
distress signal
I had to jump
from
several
Carla.
asteroids to triangulate the source of the signal.
I had been transmitting for help, Toka. I was here for a long time.
Glad to hear it, but you'll have to say your goodbyes, Eduardo. We don't have room for hitchhikers where we're headed.
But
Well, Carla, it has been lovely meeting you, wherever you are, but we're here just for my pal.
Maddox,
Eduardo, and we
you do
are
not
in a bit of a
endear
hurry,
yourself
so
to anybody.
We'll leave you and be on our
Nobody
way.
at all.
I'm afraid you misunderstand, Maddox. Kala and I have become quite close in our time together.
Well, that's not my problem. Okay, enough chit-chat. Gather your things and let's get going, Eduardo. We got work to do.
Two of us or none.
I don't think so, little lady.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Maddox,
You can't just leave her here.
you're going down the bad path.
You want to bring an unknown alien species onto the base? It could be diseased for all we know. It could compromise the whole operation.
I can assure you, she carries no dangerous...
She tried to kill us.
We were strangers with guns. You have done any different?
Damn it, Adam. How many more friendlies are you gonna drag into this?
Probably everybody you can find, to be
So,
fair.
I've waited too long for it to come around. You're only here because Dex is dead. I'm done sharing it.
I only need to return home.
We're not leaving her here to die, Maddox.
Yeah, Maddox.
Your choice.
You poo-poo
your
head.
responsibility.
Kala, it's okay. We'll help you find your way home.
There we go, you see. You can't leave us stranded. It's not nice. It's not fair.
My ship is near Toka, but it flies no more. Some of the things on my ship helps you with travel, and me find my way home.
Okay, Kala. The least we can do is check it out before we head back.
Space is awesome. I don't know actually how to take that. Is it just me or does Gary look like Maddox?
We are going right back to the freighter.
I'm afraid I must insist, Maddox. This is where I need to ask something of you in return for my patience.
Jeez, all those years of solitude really gave you an attitude. Fair enough. Let's get the blue lady her things, but let's not take too long about it.
Maddox, you never fail to surprise me. You actually left Eduardo here on an asteroid all by himself. All those
See, Adam's kind of working Maddox out, isn't he? That, you know, he's a bit of a poo-poo head.
Would at least have prevented him from flying off. In the end, we just left him sitting on a rock, happily looking at the starscape.
After my internal gaming protocols exhausted their entertainment value, I
He can only play solitaire for so long, can't he?
supernovae in the eternal
Yeah. Yeah, Lee just said, we're announcing the Airlock Maddox DLC at the end of the stream, but this is a joke, okay? Yeah, I think a lot of people would actually want to give him the old boot out the airlock as well, to be fair. Anyway, right, so mission is picking up the pieces. Now you can see that's a little bit above my level, so I may need to kind of head back towards some safe places, I think, because I think Aethor will get me killed quite easily. So let's head out of here for a little bit.
So, Eduardo, you didn't get bored?
Apparently, you didn't get bored.
Exploration and deciphering unit Mark II you're talking to there.
Let's get this stuff first.
Boredom ain't part of the code. Ain't that right, Eduardo? Don't make them like you anymore.
Definitely not.
disadvantage of being such an old model, however.
Whoop. Let's head into here.
Into my databases with the applicable
That's just a spore.
I was deemed a risk factor to the mission. So Dax and Maddox have
Let's just grab some baramites. It's just over there. Whee, on the surface. Nice.
While we were at it, we had him encrypt 2 biochips so we could keep parts of the map hidden and only unlock it in unison.
Wow. You guys really didn't trust each other at all, did you?
Yeah.
I love that voice line. You really didn't trust each other, did you? Yeah. I wouldn't trust Maddox as far as I could throw him. That wouldn't be very far, I'm sure.
Roslyn, I'm sending coordinates. Our quarry has reappeared in Ceto. You mean the Dread? Proceed to our Cyane station. Another contractor will meet you there.
Nice to talk to you too. Great catching up. Let's do lunch.
Let's do lunch. So, drone rustling has just popped, which is obviously part of the Dreadnought storyline, so we need to kind of head back there, which is going to take us a little while, actually. So, we need to get back to Ceto. That's the convert there. Well, actually, we could do the convert, couldn't we, while we're here? Let's do the convert. Let's head there, shall we? Let's do this.
That is the vessel containing the father, Bernard. I detect only one life sign.
What are they doing, Hive?
The vessel is being bombarded with an unknown dark energy. This, I presume, is how the cult gains a hold over their new initiates.
So this is how Redeemers are made, huh? Let's put a stop to this.
Okay, they're all a distance, and that should be okay. Ceremonial drone. Okay, we might need to do something about these laser beams. Oops.
Okay, Doomer.
Okay, Doomer. Hey, we've got some more car joining in. That's handy. Let's not upset the Okar though, because they are going to be helpful. There we go. Chip colour. Nice. Right, while they're still around, let's tag this other crystal if we can. See if any more jump in. No? We're good, we're good, we're good. Ah, that's always good. That's always good. Oh.
No more room in this galaxy for religious fanatics.
You will be made to suffer for your arrogant imposition.
You can go with it, because you're horrible. There we go. Another ship module there, that's handy. Right, let's get rid of this last crystal, shall we?
We
Oh,
have halted the ritual, although I fear we may be too late. The father's life signs display a slowed metabolism and an indication
stuff.
of possibly compromised cerebral activity.
ooh,
That vessel must be AI driven.
sounds
Where's the
painful.
It is returning to the Rahim jump gate.
Again?
Again?
It's a default setting. Let's free this guy once and for all.
Cool. Right, let's jump out of here. Don't want to take on the Redeemers again because they're all a bit nuts. They're all a bit nuts.
Imogen, I'm on your father's trail. The Redeemers have performed some kind of ritual on him.
Oh no, I hope we are not too late.
Is there anything else you can tell me about these jerks that might
Yeah,
help me in any
indeed.
way?
They were once scientists themselves. Research Department for Extinct Extraterrestrial Monuments.
Okay, well, that might at least explain why their vocabulary range is better than that of the average outlaw.
Yeah, we did. I just noticed one comment. Yeah, I did manage the bomber challenge with no inertia dampeners in first person around the scrapyard race. That was interesting. Fun, difficult, but interesting. Yeah, we managed it. I had to do a bit of practice, to be fair. Anybody that can do that, and if you do get platinum even with inertia dampeners on, fair play to you. You are very skillful. Oh, here we go.
Containing the father is already in the station hangar.
Oh,
Let's try to get him out of there before this goes any further.
let's. Okay.
You insist on impinging on our business. We will deal with you severely.
Oh,
Finally, someone a
this.
little less insane. Let's try talk. Hand over the scientist Bernard, and we'll end this here, okay?
Maybe.
There is no one of that name. Only a fresh redeemer to continue the work of the ancients.
Oh, so much for wishful thinking. There's no negotiating with these nutbags.
There's no I love it. There's no negotiating with these nutbags. Love it. I think the range on this, yeah, is around 2. Just don't want to pull too many if I can help it, because that's where it gets all painful, all very quickly. So we'll try and take out. Yo, Alex arrived. Hello, Eric. Let's hit some rockets into you, I think. You're gone. Nice.
What are the crystals on the Redeemer ships for exactly?
The ships seemingly contain repurposed freelancer technology.
I just
with
want them for. I want
unknown
the freebies. Give me those freebies.
modifications.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Thanks, Alec. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Made all the difference. Yeah, we get Alec can be a little bit distracting, and he just wants to jump in and, you know, have a conversation almost rather than, you know, doing too much. But, you know, we like that furry little friend around. He does good stuff. He likes ice cream. Maybe the wrong flavour ice cream that he likes, but he likes ice cream. Oops. I got to get the credits. Can't leave here without the credits. Okie dokie. Right. So we 2.8, 2.3. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Come on. Switch back. Oop. Oh, hello. Somebody's ripping me a new one there. It's not very nice. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Yep. Yep. Oh, hello. Oh.
Appears to be of exceptional power.
Oh, this is not good.
Supercharged from whatever the Redeemers have been feeding it. Facing wardens is always tough work.
Right, hang on. Let me just check. Energy with a blaster. I may need to do a little bit of a change of maneuver here. If you do come up against the wardens, they are very energy unresistant. So if you can, then really put something energy based against them. So I might swap out that for the disintegrator. So that I've got a couple of energy weapons. One does a bit of both as well. Yeah.
If you pick the fight, you must expect to finish it.
Are these old-timey sayings pre-programmed into you, Hive?
The warden will devour your soul.
So you keep implying. You should listen to yourself sometimes.
What doesn't help is I keep running out of power very quickly. In your eyeball.
Stop! The warden must be spared.
Wee.
The warden is being re-caged.
There we go.
How are they doing that?
We will surrender the convert you seek.
Finally, some reason from you all.
He is but one of many among our collective. He can be relinquished in order to ensure the continuation of our great work.
He's a nut job, isn't he? Complete and utter loon.
Imogen, I've secured your father's release. Come through the jump gate for extraction.
I'm already nearby. I've been watching events from a safe distance.
I thought I told you to stay put. Listen up, you crazed loons. This lady is approaching your dock. Allow her to collect her father or expect consequences.
Yeah.
Not interfere.
Yeah.
Come on in, Imogen.
Don't interfere, you crazy loons.
I have him. He is unconscious. Oh, Papa. I know you can hear me. Stay with me.
Yeah, I did use the ultimate there, Frog. Yeah, you know, people would probably, good job they sat down because they would have probably died of shock otherwise, you know.
To help him. Among them are some of the best neurophysicists in the cluster.
Imogen, take your father there and never come back to this place. I fear they might have a hold on him that he may never escape.
There must be a way I can repay you.
No, there isn't. Just let me know later how it turned out.
I will be in touch.
Cool. There we go. We did the convert. Done the convert. That's good. Let's grab these Flygon while we're here and everything else. Nice. Consumables. Yeah, a bit overrated. Devices, just about. Yeah, we could just about sneak those in. Okay, actually, there's a thing there that we want to tag. If we can. Whee. Hello, Hydras. You can go boom boom. There we go. Boop. Doink. Ooh, hello. Oh, Tell you what, I just do need to switch back to that. Get my flak into there. Once it kind of charges up a little bit. Once we search this ship. Oh, nice credits. Always good. Oop. I'll try not to kill myself. Blasting that. Be a bit painful. Bit painful. Right, let's get out of here, shall we? Because we need to kind of head back to Ceto. Where things are... Oh, actually, Clygon there as well. Thank you. Give me some good stuff. Don't float off. Some of the resources you find are always a bit like the side missions that you have in a game. You know, all of a sudden your head is turned and there you go, you're off instead of going in the direction that you're supposed to. In through the jump gate. Jumping through. Oh, go away. The outlaw drone. What a pain. Wow. You got armor drones. That's not good. Good. Tell you what we're going to do is let's bring out the combat drone to give us a little hand. And then a little repair there as well. Not much. Need bigger repairs. They're so feisty and fast. Alex coming in again. Yay! We've just leveled up. Tormentor is tormenting me. I feel like all of a sudden I'm getting a little bit weak against some of these. Come on, die. Thank you. Whee! Stuff. Oh, heck. Oh, heck. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's go scout. That's not very nice. We're just friends. Another blood star. See what we're going to do. Make a little bit of this. A little bit of this. Prospector, get rid of him. I'm loving the G key. It's like a newfound friend, isn't it? You know, just something that you're just not used to having, and then you find it. There we go. Turn that off. Yay! I think I've got a bit of damage. Yup. My ship is not happy. Downtime warrior, corrosion resistance. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. I think we're good. There we go. Just stamping us back. See you later, Alec. Thanks for joining us this time. You actually did good. You did good, my friend. Did good. Always a pleasure. Right. Oh, nanobots large. That'll be nice. And we've got some stuff here as well. A couple of containers. Oop. Here's an interesting question for you. When you see a container, do you shoot it or do you go up to it and open it? Obviously, the ones that you can't shoot, obviously. But these normal ones, do you shoot them to open them or you fly up to it? See? There's ways and means. Super Scrapper says that they open it. There we go. Bearded Frog says they shoot it. Yeah, 99% of the time. Yeah. Spook's like, nah, just railgun them. Twink. 50-50. I like this. I like this. Have I just... Yes, I've just gone back through the same ram gate, didn't I? Turn around. We're going the other way. That way. Silly sausage. Wrong way. Got all confused there. Just like the effect of the gates, obviously. That's why I go back through them. Obviously. Right, let's just bring up the map because we need to get to Smuggler's Back Door because we need to be jumpy through. A lot undiscovered here as well still, haven't we? Wow. Lots undiscovered. I see the questions are coming through. I see the call to action, I think, from Lee that Twitch was slacking with the questions has spurred them into activity because all of a sudden we've just had a plethora of Twitch questions. If you do have some that you want answering or we'll try to answer, please get them in. We'll be answering some in 5 minutes or so. Five minutes or so. We'll see how we get on. Right, let's get to the Smuggler's Back Door without taking on everything here. And who put that right in the way? Hello, drone carrier. Bye. Coming through. Thank you. Not fighting today. No. There we go. Let's get in. Let's activate. See ya. Bye.
Haven't seen anything.
I love seeing the chat just tumbling through and all the different stuff that you always discuss.
Adam, is that you?
Well,
Adam Roslin.
yes.
Reading you. Hey, Imogen.
Hey, Imogen.
I'm so glad I reached you. I wanted to thank you again for all you have done for us.
No worries.
How's your father? Were his people able to do anything for him?
Yes. In fact, that's why I'm calling. He's awake and full of new ideas.
Cool.
And he has made some kind of breakthrough about the Redeemers.
Okay, interesting.
Look, do you think you could pay us a visit on EVERSPACE? My father would like to meet you himself, and we'd like to make a proposition.
You see.
Well, I am curious.
It's all coming out now, isn't it?
When I can.
Just thought I'd see how you're doing. Could you drop by because we need to ask you to do something for us. Like, what? Right, let's have a look at the shop. See what we can get rid of. We've got some... Okay, the small nanobot can go in there. We'll keep hold of the large one. Sell. Nothing really there. We've got a medium. Actually, let's just swap out that medium to there. Efficient pulse. No, we'll just get rid of that. So we got the autonomous accelerated Genesis barrier, and then we got the normal autonomous. So okay, that one's firepower. So I think, yeah, we'll. We'll just sell it for credits. Sell it for credits. Get it out the door. That's the Swift Rattler 16, and that's the Auto Cannon 666 523. See, that's the old rogue set. That's non-rogue. Okay, don't know what to keep on that one. Let's have a look in the shop. Anything good? Solar panels. We need them for terrain for his dealers. No, nothing here. Right, let's just crack on. So we need to get through there. We need to be back to Ceto, don't we? Because we need to go to Alcyone Station. In fact, let's just head there. Right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Hostile detected. Of course they are. They're always detected. Ceto Transit Gate. That's where we want to be. Let's head there. Now YouTube are trying to level it up with the questions. I like to see this bit of competitiveness between the channels. If you're out there on Facebook or on Steam, please do, you know, throw in a question. We want to hear from you. We definitely want to answer your questions too. Don't be shy. You don't bite. Why? I hit the wrong key. We were meant to go to the transit gate. Right. That's where I wanted to be. I hit the F key instead of the C key. Lots going on, you know. Lots going on. Right, let's just get through this gateway. Off we go into Ceto. Bearded Frog's like, YouTube doesn't need to compete with other channels. Oh. See, that's competitive in itself. Right, okay, outlaw bomber. Let's just get out of here. We won't take anything on. We're just going to leave them be. We're going to get 12 signing. So this is going to be part of the Dreadnought questline. If you've got the Titans DLC, then this is what would happen at various stages, various levels, and areas that have kind of opened up for you. So we do need to periodically drop into these if you want to.
We're sending over the last load of parts. Don't shoot.
There's the Minakawa. I just love the way that the kind of whole imagery of the Dreadnought is there just for size and, well, fear. It would put fear into you.
That's everything you asked for? We're good, right?
We're good.
Nearly. Patel, we need more action footage from the drones. Moderately lethal, if you please.
Moderately lethal. I love how she says that. Just moderately lethal.
Fighter squads, engage. Secondary batteries, fire at will. What? Wait! Stop! You don't need to kill anyone.
Let's get shooting, Rosalind.
Let's get shooting.
Cardenas sent you?
Yeah, Rakima. The knockdown.
Now we should be able to deal with these fairly easily. Famous last words, I know, because these are only level 14. But they're quite below my level, so I will probably not get much in terms of rewards from taking these on. But hey, pushes the storyline on.
I didn't sign up to fight a damn battleship.
Apparently not. Right, there we go. Get them up and running. So yeah, we'll just get through this little bit, and then we shall crack on to the questions. Clear out some fighters. Cool. Is she drinking? What gives you that idea?
I'm surprised to see you again. Rosalind, was it?
No, it wasn't Rosalind. No, definitely not Rosalind. Don't know who you're talking about. Whoop, hello. There we go.
If you gotta ask, you don't want to know.
They've got a lot, I think is the phrase that we're looking for. They've got a lot.
They're sending drunks after us. Haugen, how many fingers am I holding up?
I'm holding up one.
I love that line. How good? How many fingers am I holding up? I'm holding up one. I love how we got that line in. Obviously, she's just pointing, you know, at the dash of her ship. There we go. Nearly done. 91%. Soften them up. Hit them with the blaster. Come on. You know you want to. There we go. Okay. They are indeed. I'm enjoying this.
We've got to take out them launchers. I got a cannon that can punch through. Need you to scan for weakness, so you up for it?
Just leave it to me.
Ow!
Rakima, there's a weld in the armor here. That what you need?
That'll do
Indeed.
nicely.
That's what we need.
Alright, I'll need you over here with me. Got a Hyper-V cannon.
Ooh, that was a lucky little swoop underneath there. That could have been painful.
You built that junk pile yourself, Hugin.
Yeah, flies just the way I like. Lining up on the second mark.
Ow. What is going on? All the concentration. All the concentration. Won't stick my tongue out. Oh, hello, Mr. Outlaw Bomber. Let's get rid of you. Yeah, there you can go. And you can disappear too. Anybody else? Yep, you there. Greatest Proto Scout. Anybody else? Okay, turn that off. So we'll save a little bit of it. Okay, they just all just jumped in. Nice. And she fires. Boom.
Ultra disabled.
Oh, YouTube have definitely fought back now in the list of questions. I'm loving it. All of a sudden it was red, and then it turned to a bit of purple on our list of questions, and then all of a sudden it's turned red again. We're totally not competitive at all.
We have sufficient footage. Execute.
Question was indeed.
That was a local jump. The interstellar drive unit we disabled in Zarkov remains offline.
Nah.
Still need to destroy the Minokawa's second drive unit to
We
stray
do.
them here.
Ain't no place hereabouts to fix the one you busted.
I love how she's been on a few little drinky poos.
I'm glad you guys showed up. They said if we gave them what they wanted, they'd leave in peace.
What did they take?
Drone handling equipment. Launch and recovery gear, fueling links, that kind of thing.
Wait, they took your equipment? Not any of the cargo passing through?
Ooh, catalyst blueprint as well. Open these up. Okay. Catalyst there as well. Smoke screen. Nice. We got some good stuff. Oh, hello, Mr. Colour. Give me the ship colour. They're always good.
Discuss something that can't go over comms. Meet me in Sito.
I have received a set of deep space coordinates.
Nice. Something for us to look at shortly. Well, let's look at our inventory. We did get quite a bit of stuff there, so we may need to... Ooh, hello, that's nice. That's an auto swap. Secondary supplies. We'll activate that there. Right, while we're here, I'm just going to plug myself into photo mode. Just going, I mean, look at that. Isn't it nice that we put a screenshot maker into our game as well? Just while we go through some of these questions, because we've got quite a few to go through, so I'm going to try and rapid fire these as much as possible, because we've lots to get through tonight. Lots to get through. Right, first up, over on YouTube. From Thor of Asgard. Have we received a PS5 Pro dev kit yet? No is the answer, but we're still working on it. I know a lot of you, obviously guys and girls that maybe are lucky to get a PS5 Pro, know that there's certain kind of enhancements that we could look at, but we do need the dev kit, and they are kind of as rare as unicorns at the moment, should we say. So, yeah, we're still working on it. Hopefully we'll get something in the future, but at the moment, no. But yeah, fingers crossed. Wizard Jerry and Slorine over on YouTube. Bit of a combination on this one. Want to know, will you guys have a roadmap for 2025? We've got more about our future coming next year. I know Lee's working on cooking something up. So, yes, just bear with us. We shall have things there for you eventually. Alligator Dude be on YouTube. Are we going to get a ship swap during the stream? My vote is for a Stinger. Yes, we will. Certainly. I was playing other ships earlier in the playthrough, and then I've decided to swap back to one of my favorites, the Sentinel. But if we do find a nice ship, then absolutely I will swap and play something different. Right, switching to Twitch. So this is where the battlegrounds and the line was drawn, where Flory comes in with a plethora of questions. Are there any secret areas in the game that that haven't been found yet? I would actually have to ask the team this. I don't believe there is anything that hasn't been found, but I'll have to double check. As far as I'm aware, everybody has found everything. that's been looking. Obviously, everything has been found from across the community. I don't think there's anything too mysterious, but I'm sure there might be something in there, a little Easter egg here and there. Flory again, in the case with the other, does RFG have statistics how many found such secret areas? I don't actually know if we have any statistics on that, to be fair. It's good. Again, it'd be something I'd have to follow up. I don't think we track those statistics kind of globally, so I don't think we'd be able to check on that. But yeah, I would have to ask the team. We'd have to maybe ask after the Christmas period. So do remind me on that one, Flory. Are there any stats on the number of jellyfish killed by the pilots? I know it seems very harsh to kill these jellyfish as we see them and everything, but yeah, again, I don't think we actually have any statistics that we track specifically. Super Scrapper with Twitch again. What are you looking forward to next year? Well, there's a lot of things, to be fair. Just can't talk about them. Right, switching back to YouTube. Excelsior is this one's from Michael, so we might actually ask what this one in a little while, but we'll keep a track of that one, Excelsior, because we will have Michael on shortly for his little chat with us. Flory again back on Twitch. Is there another RFG party planned? I'm sure we'd love to have another party. Not currently planned as far as I'm aware, but who knows? We'll see in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But nothing planned as I'm aware. Back to YouTube. Alligator Dude. Favorite Christmas song? Wow. That's a very festive one, and I'm not entirely sure. I think there's a... I mean, there's a plethora, isn't there? I do like Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas. I know that's a very English song. Only because, like, the jobs that I've done, sometimes you would just literally feel like it's done now. I can go home and enjoy Christmas. And you always feel like that if that was playing when you're driving home, that was it. That was your moment of being able to head home and put your feet up for a little while. A Bearded Frog, yeah, your question there I can see is for Michael. We'll hold that one over as well. Olivia Soriel over on YouTube. Is the Aethon system going to be explorable? It'd be good, wouldn't it? I mean, I know a lot of people have been asking for it, but it would be good. And then for Michael's question as well, there's another one from Bearded Frog there. We can ask that one. And Excelsior. Ooh, that's a good one, Excelsior. Valkyrie or a Dreadnought? What would you prefer? That's a toughie. Yeah. Ooh. I'll say Dreadnought. I'll say Dreadnought on that one. Yeah. So that was a quick fire answer on those. I know we've held some over, but we're going to be speaking to Michael very, very shortly. What we're going to do is, obviously 2024 has been a very busy year for us here at Rockfish. Lots of things have happened. So we're going to do a little bit of a segmented review of the year. And we're going to look back at everything that's kind of happened, you know, what we've done, what we've released, etc., etc. And I think it'd be nice if you guys could watch along too. So, without further ado, take a look at this. A strong start to the year for the team as we revealed work had started on updating the game engine from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. Not the easiest task by any stretch, and as our Steam blog post highlighted, many of the issues that the team had been working to fix, including missing laser beams and Tron-like glowing effects on all objects, all contributed to things that just weren't right. Or were they? Many questions about the update and the reasons behind the move to a new engine were asked in our first stream of 2024. Here's what we had to say. The main reason that we're doing the whole upgrade to Unreal Engine 5 is simply for maintainability. In the time that we have between Armed and Dangerous, which obviously was our previous free update, and Incursions, which is going to be our next free update sometime in the spring of this year, then we're going to be, we've got given the time to do the transition. The tools that are available within Unreal Engine 5, we need to investigate them. We need to look at everything that they can give us, that we can bring them to the game. And that takes time. There's a lot of nuances to it, and the team have to learn those. So for the maintainability, being able to support our product for a lot longer, we want to be able to be on the most prominent and current engine, which is Unreal Engine 5. We leveled up to 10 this year. Michael and Christian began their journey together many years ago, but Rockfish burst into life in 2014, and we had to celebrate our 10th anniversary. Here's Michael and Uwe to tell us more.
Greetings, pilots. We're back with another Kickstarter. Just kidding. Today we want to look back at what we have accomplished in the last 10 years together with you, our loyal fans. When my partner and I rebooted as Rockfish Games and Christian built a new studio from scratch, quite literally, we didn't know where this new journey would take us.
I've been working with Michael and Christian even before the previous studio. I always admired their ambition while giving us a lot of creative freedom. When they started something new, I didn't hesitate to join them to make space games on PC and console.
So we're so proud to announce this brand new independent game made here in Germany on opening night live. Check this out.
A deeper collaboration with our community began when EVERSPACE 2 entered early access in 2021. With hundreds of thousands of pilots, we received a ton of valuable feedback.
In total, it took 5 years to complete EVERSPACE 2. It has been the largest project and our biggest investment by far yet. But all the hard work and the financial risk have been worth it. The best part? We're not done yet. 2023 has been an incredibly challenging year for many teams worldwide, which is why we couldn't be more grateful for where we are. Doing what we love as a truly independent studio is absolutely priceless, and we couldn't have done it without our fantastic community. So thanks again for all your support.
Our stream's got a fresh lick of paint this month too, with some fancy schmancy new graphics and a nice new fresh layout. Not only that, we managed to squeeze both community managers onto the screen for your viewing pleasure.
And I am joined by this fellow right over here. Look at him. Look at that guy. You see him over there? Look, it's Gary. Ah, say hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Oh, wonderful.
We even managed to sneak in a look at some of the new legendaries coming with incursions. Some increasing firepower was heading the player's way.
Look at him. Look at him. Oh, those turrets.
The Art of EverSpace 2 art book launched this month as a 256-page behemoth of artistic goodness. What was originally planned as a small booklet and a digital version expanded to include much more. Some of the dev team even gave an insight into their journey within the project. As we closed out the end of the month, we whetted the appetite of the players with our Radiance and Reliquies blog, which showed how all things legendary were about to get a refresh. Some eagle-eyed pilots may have spied our sneaky little tease that risks were about to get a little bit harder too for those up to the challenge. The Scout's Ultimate was scheduled for some maintenance this month. Coming alongside Incursions, it was allowing the ship class to be much more versatile, yet still remain the notable choice for sniper-style players. Here's Eric explaining a little bit more.
Let's go ahead and just hover over Shadow Strike, but not show it quite yet. And look at the difference that it is by not comparing it to the prior one. What it says here is that it now renders the ship invisible to enemies, and it grants an additional critical hit chance of up to 20%, okay? When you fire your weapons or use device, it will break the cloak, but killing an enemy will restore the cloak and extends the duration by 2 seconds, up to 20 seconds. Greetings, pilots. It's time to unveil our second free post-launch update for EverSpace 2. Today, we're expanding the endgame with an exciting combat challenge and powerful new legendaries, all wrapped up in our single biggest under-the-hood upgrade so far.
Incursions launched with all the included changes we've been talking about, plus a few extra features such as enhanced controller support in the form of custom keybinds. Who says Rockfish doesn't listen to feedback?
Today, we migrate EverSpace 2 to Unreal Engine 5.3.
Including with Incursions was the update from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5 that the team had been working on for months. And we weren't done yet either. We released a supporter pack to help continue funding the development of EverSpace 2 to our most ardent fans. A stunning cosmetic add-on for the game, in with some Tron-like effects, which started life as a bug.
für das beste deutsche Spiel in 2024. Er geht an EVERSPACE 2.
Finally, and one that we're really proud of here at Rockfish Games, EVERSPACE 2 won the Game of the Year at the German Computer Game Awards in Munich. An epic achievement for a truly independent studio and one that meant a lot to the team. Here's some of the photos from the event with the team enjoying the win. There we go. How cool is that? How cool was that? In the first, 4 months of our time of the year, we crammed in so much, and obviously finishing with a wonderful win there at the German Computer Game Awards to top it all off. Yeah, busy year. It's been fun to put those videos together because there's going to be more to show in a little while, but this is probably one of the points that you've all been waiting for, because I'm going to bring a certain person in on our chat. So if you just bear with me, I'm just going to switch over and you will see our chat. So if you just bear with me, there we have a Michael. Who? There he is, drinking away. See, he wasn't ready, was he? We just caught him out there. He's like, what? I won't tell. There we go. Say hello, Michael. Say hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
There we go. We're going to get that one in. Yeah. That's always good. Yeah, Michael's going to join us for a little interview, a little chat. We thought it was going to be nice to grab him and take up some of his precious time answering some of the questions that have come in from you, the community, but also that we've always wanted to maybe know. We thought we'd ask them. So, yeah, he's graciously joined us for a little while. He's going to stick around. He's been sticking around for quite a while. There's everybody's like, Michael, yay, there he is. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us, Michael. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. Yeah. I suppose we always need to open up with the question, as a CEO of a company, and specifically Rockfish, what is the day-to-day workflow of a CEO like?
Yeah, that's a good one. It depends where you are in the life cycle of the game. So obviously when we did the Kickstarter, man, it was 24/7 checking the social channels and being on Discord, on Facebook, on Twitter and whatnot, and replying to all the responses.
Yeah.
So that was a very, very intense time. And yeah, I can really recall that. There was a lot. And well, then at some point when the production is going on and everything is taking along, the team is cracking on the game. I'm not too involved in the game development itself. And then it's more about marketing opportunities, maybe going to conferences, meeting with our friends at Microsoft, Sony, Valve, and keep them updated what we're up to, and making sure that we get the visibility for our game.
Yeah.
And well, then obviously it's also looking where the industry is heading. Like, yeah, what are maybe new business models, what is popular, and then seeing where trends. But the trends are always tricky, because if chasing trends, you might be too late once you come up with something. At the same time, if you ignore trends, and if it's a major, it turns into a major shift in the overall market, then you might make a wrong product in the future. So long story short, typically half of my time is looking towards the future, and the other time is like, what is the team doing? And then every now and then I have the pleasure to play test something. And I typically try to play test when things are pretty much in a good space or good place already. Because I'm looking for this consumer experience. I wanna know how it feels like for you guys out there. So it's, when I play test, it's less about letting the team know where I think we should change things. It's more like, okay, how would this feel for our fans? And then provide feedback to the team. And boy, and every time I play new stuff, it is so hard to focus on the stuff they ask me to. So if they say, well, you have to play the new campaign in the upcoming expansion or the side missions, I always get sidetracked because I always know, oh, they put a container there. What's in this container? Oh, I guess there is a secret because I can see the smoke coming out of this part, whatever it is, that station. or you see some light shimmering in the distance. You're like, I wonder what's over there. And then I get completely sidetracked. So yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah, I think, I mean, even in our game now, we still do it, as I did earlier. All of a sudden, oh, shiny thing over there. Let's go find that. Yeah, let's go check that out. I'm kind of going to roll a couple of questions into one here, because we had a question from XL over on our Discord, and it's the kind of question that we had already kind of lined up. Obviously, you worked in the gaming industry for quite a long time now, over 20 years, and yourself and Christian have been a wonderful partnership together there. How do you feel that the industry has changed in that time, and is there anything that you've enjoyed more than other aspects? Is there anything that you kind of felt is negative too?
Well, let's start with the good stuff. I think what we all enjoy the most, and we just recently had this when we went out for the Christmas dinner with the dev team. It is really fantastic, the kind of thing that we do. It's a privilege, actually. So we sit together with a bunch of people who really most of them know each other for 20 years. And then we work on something together. We come together. It's a creative process. It's very challenging from the technical aspect of what we do, but we have all the freedom within the budget constraints, obviously, and we can do whatever we think is right. And then we throw it out there, and with a few pushes of buttons, we go live worldwide, right? So the total addressable market, it's 150 million on Steam, I think. Then we are, 50 million on Xbox, around a bit more, even 80 million on PlayStation. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential people who could play our game. And then in the end, we're ending up with like a few, like in the low single digit, 7-digit, so like 1-2 million. So this is what we're looking at with EVERSPACE 1, and EVERSPACE 2 is probably going to be the same, maybe a little bit more. So long story short, more than 1 million people play our games, and just on PC and console. And 85% give us a thumbs up. We love this, and we want more of that. I gotta say, this is so rewarding. This is absolutely fantastic. And when I started with Christian 30 years ago, we were still doing architecture visualization, and we worked for others. So it was a work for hire profession or job, so to speak. And we never created our own stuff. But since we started making games, this is so much more fulfilling, that you do your own things, that you think it's great, you put it out there, and then you get feedback from the market. And I think this is something it's honest, it's genuine. Because if you make something that's not great, then the fans will tell you, right? So you don't sell it. So this is the good part. Now the challenging part is, because of digital distribution, and because game engines are now available to pretty much anybody, so you don't have to license it anymore and crank out 500,000 to Epic to get your hands on Unreal Engine, pretty much any team in the world can do it. That means you are competing with the entire world, and every year there are more games releasing on Steam and on Xbox and on PlayStation, and the biggest challenge is get the visibility. And then, because of the discounts, that all the old games are still sitting there, and you're competing against more and more games. And this is the biggest challenge. And what we've seen in the last, let's say, 1 or 2 years, a lot of studios had to cut their staff or even close because it's becoming more and more competitive. And of course, this is concerning. So we also have to make sure that we don't make games that are too expensive to make. So thankfully, we don't have investors. So it's not like we have to be super profitable and that we have somebody breathing down our neck. I've been there. That's not nice. But we still have to make sure that whatever we do, it pays the bills, right? So, and sometimes it's like, I know that everybody wants more and better stuff, but we also have to keep the scope sane and make sure that the current game is not getting too expensive, and also our next game at some point has a certain scope, and then to hit it right. And I think this is the biggest challenge, to find your next game, because you don't know until you publish it. Even in early access, you already invested a lot, and it's a huge risk. I mean, we're talking here several million. You invest several million euro into a new project. We don't have any investors. We don't have a publisher. we don't have like a big back catalog, so we only have this one thing. We're making space games. It's very unlikely that we do something else. And as long as our fans love it, we're going to keep doing it. But yeah, as I said, we have to make sure that we make a product that's sustainable and pays the bills for our team.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, that's very responsible. We've seen in the industry over the past couple of years how much it has dramatically changed, you know, since COVID, and teams were taking on and they've expanded, and then all of a sudden that bubble's kind of burst, and then we're into this scenario of people, you know, a lot of people unfortunately losing their jobs, and being sustainable and respectful to, you know, the situation that we're in is, I think, a very clever path to tread. Now, obviously, we talked about Everspace 1 and Everspace. Now we're into Everspace 2. One of the questions that we had in, and it came from the Chinese community, actually, Wizard Jerry put it in for our Discord. They're wondering, Everspace 1 was a kind of roguelike space shooter, while Everspace 2 is more like a space Diablo, which is, you know, quite a shift. Can you explain why there was that significant shift in style?
Yeah. We get this quite a lot too. Why did we make a non-sequel, right? The first one was successful, and then we throw away the core loop, and people say, well, why are you doing that? That doesn't make sense. Well, actually, the first Everspace, I'd say it was a compromise, because back then when we started with ROCKFISH games as a new studio for PC and console, we simply didn't have the budget to make an open world space game. I mean, I know that some people are familiar with Galaxy and Fire, and there was the kind of freelancer thing on mobile phones, and our fans wanted us to make something like this on PC, which Everspace 2 actually became. But I'm quite open about this. So Everspace 1 had a development budget of €5 million, and Everspace 2, it's 15. So if you don't have a publisher, and we really had to work our way up there. So this is why we said, well, back then roguelikes were quite popular, and then combining the roguelike mechanic with the accessible space combat, that was the concept. It came from the team, wasn't my idea. And to be honest, I wasn't a fan of it at the very beginning. I really hated the idea of, if you die, you have to start all over. Yes, certain things are carrying over, and I was like, man, this is really good. And I think our fans, they just want to have this open world experience. And then our team is like, yeah, what are you thinking? It's like, before that, in the other studio, we made mobile games. Now we're talking PC console. It's like, no way we can do this. So, this is why we came up with the idea. And then Everspace 2, Everspace 1 became quite a hit. I mean, it became a Platinum graduate in Steam Early Access in 2017. Was a hit on Xbox. We landed one of the first Game Pass deals back then. Was also quite successful on PlayStation. And then we worked our way up so that we could make the game that we actually wanted to make, and that was Everspace 2. So like this open world approach, and then have the accessible space combat and exploration. Still, we wanted to have the repeatable nature in the game, and this is why we have so many mini missions, high-risk areas, the rifts, but also Titans is actually an expansion, which is kind of a nod to Everspace 1, where you have the big threat. You cannot defeat the Dreadnought, and I already heard some people are not happy about it. I get it, but this was reminiscent to Everspace 1, and then with the Leviathan, where you have the procedurally generated the inside of it, so to speak, that was also not to Everspace 1. So this is why we came up with this, and but I also understand that probably everybody's waiting for the expansion next year. It's coming along nicely. I'm not allowed to share too much. I know he's on the stream. I already play tested stuff, and
I've got the mute button ready. I've got the mute just in case you're like, whoa,
No, it's awesome. It's I'm very excited for the things that are coming.
Cool, lovely. Right, speaking of development, and this is going to combine a couple of questions again. One from Bearded Frog on YouTube, and also one we had from our Discord. They're really asking about how the hiring process is as a thing. I know probably some of the other team delve into this a lot now rather than yourself, but what did you used to look in a candidate for when you were taking somebody on, and are we going to be hiring more people for future developments?
Yeah. I mean, we always have a few positions open on our store, on our website, which actually I handle myself. So every time something pops up, I have to do this myself. So the CEO hosts the website or manages the website, the company website, the studio website. And I mean, we're always looking for people who fit great into a team. Talent and experience is always the criteria, the first criteria that we look at. And then we run interviews, typically with the team first. And then for a second round, then Christian and I join the interviewee. And then it's more the question, is this new person, this candidate, a good fit for the team?
Yeah.
Because you can have fantastically talented and experienced people, but if there's not a fit, if the culture fit is not there, then you add so much potentially. You can add so much friction to a small team, and it happened a few times in the past. And then we had to part ways, and parting ways is always a challenge for both sides.
Yeah.
And then you have to reposition the team around people who leave the studio, if they leave, or we have to make them leave, which happens very, very seldom, I have to say. So typically we have a good pick, good hand. But of course it can happen, right? That somebody turns out like, well, it's not a good fit, it doesn't share the same values, it's not as passionate about the stuff that we want to do, and they have other priorities. As of right now, we have the feeling we have pretty much all the talents on board that we need for our plans in the future. So don't expect us to massively grow the team. As I said earlier, we also have to make sure that we don't spend too much money on new content. And even if we had more money, even if now an investor came along and said, hey, we give you, excuse me, 10 million, 20 million, whatever, we wouldn't make a bigger game because the market is just too competitive. Yeah. And there's only so much room for a space combat exploration game. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. We're not making a first-person shooter. We're not Destiny. Although I love it a lot, I play it a lot still. But this is a completely different thing. So, long story short, we're not going to become a close to 100 people studio. I mean, right now we're 25 in development, and then we are 6, 7 in marketing and running the studio. I don't even see us become 50 people in the next 5 years. I'd be surprised.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So,
well,
hold your horses.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, expansion isn't always a good thing, you know. And as you quite rightly said, there has to be a certain fit, and everybody has to kind of integrate into a team very, very well. And I think we all do that generally quite well. So I'm just going to kind of follow up that time of what we've developed. A question again from Excel from our Discord, and he wanted to know: have we ever thought about developing a game that was completely different to space games? I know obviously you were mobile games many years ago and development, but have we ever thought, hang on, let's not make a space game, let's do something different?
Actually, we did. I mean, we pretty much worked on, I don't want to say every genre, but so many back in our mobile days. We did a lot of racing games. We did a rally game that became actually the best mobile game in the world in 2008, Rally Master Pro, right? So it's not really what I say, but what the professional reviewers said. And then we did Blades and Magic. We did a fantasy RPG fighting game with Gladiator. Then we did a snowboarding game, Snowboard Hero, I think. Yeah. But it turned out space games were the most profitable, the most successful for us. And I also got to say, space games, from a technical point of view, creative point of view, they're the most challenging because you have to handle these vast open space levels, and then you have to make sure that the combat is good, the exploration is good, some nice storytelling. So making space combat exploration games is really, really hard. So we love the challenge, and it's also keeping other competitors away. So the combination of making space games is really hard. At the same time, it's not a huge market. This is why a lot of people don't look at this. Yes. And even if you take the big guys, I mean, I can't name names, but I came across one of the biggest publishers, and they made a space combat game, very good one actually. Yeah. And I said, yeah, more space games, the merrier is typically my say, and that's also what I mean. I said, yeah, we're not going to do it again. It wasn't profitable enough and didn't meet our expectations. So it's a very hard genre and whatnot. And I was like, phew, one big guy less. So that was a good one. So they're not gonna make another Space comic, according to the head of publishing.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the past, in our mobile days, we did different genres. But also when we started with Rockfish Games, there was a time between the. So when we started Rockfish Games, we started with a work-for-hire project, which also happened to be a space combat game, surprise. Then this project was cancelled out of the blue. And then, since it's really hard to sell space combat games to publishers, we tried to come up with something else. And we did a third-person exploration survival game on a planet, and looked actually quite cool. And then we got one publisher even interested in doing this. But then they pulled the plug, and then we had like 3 months left before the lights would have gone out forever. And then we came up with EVERSPACE. So we took the game that we made for the other publisher and started kind of from scratch, and reused some tools, changed the graphics, changed the assets, and then made this EVERSPACE Kickstarter. And I kid you not, if the Kickstarter would have gone south, I wouldn't be sitting here. That would have been the end of it.
Neither would I, yeah.
But thanks to our fantastic fans, and just gave us the support and trusted in us, and which we're still very grateful for. We made it. And then it's history. Then after the Kickstarter, we signed a deal with Microsoft to bring it first to Xbox and then to other consoles and whatnot. And then we worked our way up. But we're going to stick with space combat games. It's like I'm not willing to bet the entire company to do something else because we already know space combat games work for us, so we keep doing that. Space combat games.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, touching on the community there and the support that we've had over our 2 games. I mean, some of you will know I was a backer from EVERSPACE 1 days. I saw the trailer on Kickstarter for EVERSPACE 1 and I was like blown away. I've got to play that. But as kind of Michael said earlier, I didn't like the roguelike. I couldn't get in it. And I remember it's one of the first things I ever said to Michael when I first met him in person was, I'm sorry, but I hated the first game and I couldn't get into it. And eventually I did. I persevered because I thought it's just a game that looks so gorgeous. And I think it's something that we do very, very well.
I gotta say, when I was playtesting EVERSPACE 1, I still wasn't convinced. But then I was at so many shows like EGS, Gamescom, PAX East, PAX West, and then in downtime, I had to play the game. Right? And then you sit there and you go through it and you get better and better and better. And because I had to kill the time, I really enjoyed just like dying, starting all over. And then somebody came, can I play? Like, no, this is my run. I want to finish this now. And I was like, okay. This is exactly it. So kudos to our team. They really had a great sense for what keeps you literally on the edge of your seat. So this is I still think this is one of the sentences in our Kickstarter, keeping you on the edge of the seat. This is a line that came from Andy, one of our lead game designer, senior lead game designer. And I gotta say, so they knew it. They had the right gut feeling there. And so when I eventually then had the pleasure to market a great game, which is also fantastic. I mean, imagine you're head of marketing and PR, and then there's a game that's not great, and you have to sell it. That sucks, right?
It can be tough.
And this is something I always told the team. So we're very bottom up. So the games that we design is not I or Uwe, our creative director, is telling the team what they should do. It's they come up with the idea and they sell it to me and to Uwe what they want to do, what they want to create. And they still have to convince me that this is a great game, and I have to really enjoy the game. I couldn't market a product that I'm not convinced myself, even if I know other people might like it. But I couldn't talk about it in a passionate way and convince other people or show it in the best ways. Put it like that. So I still have to like the game that we do. I think it's definitely a passion thing. I mean, it's like, luckily, EVERSPACE 2, I thoroughly enjoy hundreds and hundreds of hours. So I enjoy playing the game. So I enjoy other people playing it as well, because you think, hey, I like this. You should like it. Try it. You know, this is wonderful. So this is why we like to do the streams, you know, entice people to try it, whatever it is that we're kind of releasing. And it's there for people to enjoy. And I also have to say, this whole streaming thing that was new to us. I had no clue about Twitch back. When was it? In 2015, right? Yeah. I was like, Twitch. Why are people watching other people playing games? That didn't make sense to me. I was like, dude, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But then once we had our game, and then we saw all the people, like the streamers playing EVERSPACE, and we were so excited to see other people playing our product and showing it on the internet. And by the way, this is the best QA ever, because if you hire QA people, they play it in a different way, so they look for bugs.
Yeah.
Versus if you watch a streamer playing your product, you see if they really enjoy it and where they struggle. So every time we did the same with EVERSPACE 1 as with EVERSPACE 2, we really watched everybody streaming the game and see how they play, where they struggle, what they enjoy, and then we took notes and kept improving the game. So a lot of things came together when we were starting with a new company. I'd say without Kickstarter, it wouldn't have been possible. Without streaming, it wouldn't have been possible to get where we're at right now. So sometimes a lot of things have to come together.
Yeah.
And then you have to make the right decisions and take it to the next level, obviously. Yeah, we also have been incredibly lucky. So let's give it on ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a bit of backstory for me. This is how I actually first ever met Michael. Was I was streaming EVERSPACE 1 on my Twitch channel, and Michael came into my my channel and said, "Thanks so much for streaming our game." And I was like blown away that one of the devs had just appeared and just wanted to play, see me play the game, and then here I am now, several years later, working for the team and on the community.
Funny how things. If you would have known, right?
Oh, absolutely. Be like, yeah, just play that game. You really want to play that game? Why? Future career. Yeah.
No, I recall I was every to my my daytime, every stream I saw, no matter how small, how few people were watching, at least I showed up, said, "Hey, the devs are here in chat. Thanks for streaming. Can I help you? Any questions?" And because I was so fascinated that people play our product, even if it's far from being complete, and show it to their fans.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, and also getting the feedback, because you get feedback from the streamer, but you also get feedback from the people in chat. And then it was something that kind of kept going. Yeah, well, and then again, we also had been a little bit lucky that Cole Carnage backed our Kickstarter. And when it came out, he played it for a week or so. And then I have it on stream. I clipped it and he said, "This is a sleeper hit. This is amazing." And then, and this is also why my screen name is Michael_RFG instead of, I don't know, a headshot, whatever. something that people know, okay, this is actually a real person and I'm head of the studio. So that whoever streams our game knows that there's somebody from the studio. And then I'm happy to answer questions. And so this is how we build our relationship with the streaming community.
Yeah, it's an amazing tool to utilize for getting the message out there of the game, but also, as you've said, quite rightly said, getting the feedback from the players and the streamers and the chat and everything. I've got a question from Bearded Frog over on YouTube, and it's kind of just aimed at EVERSPACE 2 specifically, and we may be able to talk about some of it, may not. Are there any things that you can share that you wish could still have been implemented into EVERSPACE 2, but we didn't have the resources to do so? And it's kind of a follow-up sneaky little bit is, if so, are they still potentially on the horizon? No, we can't really answer that, Frog. That we kind of giving stuff away, if they were.
We have to give it to the frog.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are always... Sometimes I read lines about AI, some people doing crazy stuff and some funny dialogues like, man, we should have something like this for Hive. So every now and then I see something on the internet, on Instagram, and then I post it into our narrative Slack channel. So can we have something? Can we borrow from this for Hive? So there's a constant feed from me to have more for Hive, because I like this Hive character so much, this ambivalence between like his software, but is he conscious or not? We're playing with this. I really enjoy this. So this is something So it could be that there are more lines with Hive upcoming. That is one. When we designed EVERSPACE 2, we talked about base building. I recall that. But we put that aside. Like, did you have the hangar, and then you can put new things to the hangar? The hangar is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We're like, Jesus, we're making a game that's way too big already.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things that we didn't pursue. We didn't even prototype it because we thought, oh, this is too big. That could have been something. Yet at the same time, this is an idea that is a rather slow-paced gameplay, and that would contradict to the fast-paced nature of EVERSPACE 2.
Yeah.
So is it really a good fit? Are you cramping too many game mechanics into one title? So that is something we're not looking into, but that was on the table, or at least we discussed it. Yeah, and there are also things in EVERSPACE 2. When we worked on early access, we put a lot of game mechanics in there, basically to try them out. And we didn't really think this through, because once you put it in the game, it's very hard to take it out. Because people then obviously
they notice it's gone,
out, even if it's not great, and then you take it out. If you have a good, even if you have a good explanation, there will always people who are upset. So I'd say the racing and the faction system is not as polished or sophisticated as it would have been, as if it was a feature that was really at the center of the game. It was like, oh, maybe we should have racing games. So we tried it out. And then we had it in there, like, how do we make them meaningful? This is how we came up with the side mission and whatnot. So in hindsight, does racing really add a lot to the overall gaming experience in EVERSPACE 2? I'd say probably not. And maybe it would have been better, instead of having the racing in there, spend the time, the resources somewhere else. And the faction system, well, we liked it. We kind of had it in our mobile space game back then. The problem is, if you have a linear story that goes through all the star systems, then we ran into law issues that, if you are if the OCAR are pursuing you in a certain sector, but then they need to be hostile or not, and they were like, that doesn't make sense, it doesn't work. So this is why the faction system is also a bit half-baked, to be honest. And in hindsight, if you go for a faction system, it has to be set up while you also plan the narrative. And that was kind of separated. So we had the faction system in there, and then the narrative went into another direction. And since we're not a huge team, I think this is where we didn't go enough back and forth and tested it, and then decided, are we gonna have it, or are we gonna kill the feature? But it was already out there. So maybe that explains why the faction system is not as deep as some people would like to have it. Same here, but we just found, the story goes this way. And now taking it out is a problem, but on the other hand, it was also like we're running out of money, right? We have to finish the game. So this is why it is what it is. So I think it's kind of cool. Could have been better, yes, but making a faction system that spans across several star systems and works through the entire story, that's quite something. I mean, GTA in space, right?
Absolutely. No, it's very difficult to achieve, and I think players will absolutely love the insight into, you kind of have to plan it from the beginning and how your game is going to progress with the narrative. And if you don't, then you're going to hit the problem of this doesn't work and it feels strange, and you don't want to be in that position. So another little insight there in how things. There's usually a reason for something that something doesn't happen. So
there's always a reason. There's always a reson.
We don't just take things out just because, like, which one should we get rid of? That one. We don't need that.
How hard can it be? Easy. Of course.
I know you I probably know the answer to this, because we have a question that I actually wanted to ask, but also XL did from the Discord, and I think I already know this one, but who is your favorite character from EVERSPACE?
I would have said Hive. I also saw the survey on Discord. Sorry. It's a little bit of cold. It's the season, right?
Absolutely.
Actually, it's Fallon Pango. I like Fallon Pango because he comes like out of the blue. You had no clue what he's doing. You have no clue why does he know everything, what he's up to. And I also like Parasite 1 and 2 are by far my favorite missions in the entire game. So there's so much secrecy. You have no clue what's going on. And I think it's the mission where you have the most player agency.
Yeah,
I'd say. And it really feels like you're part of this journey. And I think Fallon Pan was such a badass, cool character. So yeah.
Fallon Pango, interesting.
Fallon
Yeah,
Pango
I did actually think you, because how positive you were speaking about Hive and the lines and everything. Yeah. I mean, Hive is my favorite. I think it's just because of the British accent and the sarcasm. I just have a kindred spirit there, kind of scenario. So
fantastic voice actor, I have to say. It's also so well acted, and this is also quite a challenge to find a strong, very talented but also fitting voice actors for your role. And I think the actor of Hive, I don't have the name right now, to be honest. Embarrassing. Fantastic job, but also Tareen and Adam, of course. And Adam is challenging because Adam is a bit boring because he's a clone. I mean, we did this intentionally, but still to have this. I mean, Adam is a child.
Yeah,
basically,
essentially,
right?
yes.
Yeah, so he's a man-child, and then grows up, and then have this the character development. And Ray Chase did a fantastic job there. He's awesome, and we met with him a couple of times when we were at GDC in San Francisco. Sat down with him, and he's always up for it. And this is now, 7 years, 8 years we've been working together. Yeah. So I mean, he did the first EVERSPACE, and now the second. So
yeah. Hive, I had to look it up because I couldn't remember myself, but Hive is voiced by Gavin Turnbull.
Right, Gavin. And interesting fun fact, Gavin actually lives in Hamburg in Germany.
Yeah.
He's a Brit in Hamburg. So,
It's the sea air makes us good. Right, we'll try and fire through some more of these quick questions because I don't want to strain your voice too much, and it's getting late for you there. Bearded Frog would just like to ask, will we ever get a full UI overhaul to both encompass better readability, conveyance of stats, and to make things more up to date with all the changes that have happened with the game? Do you know?
Yeah. Uwe would love to have it. Our creative director is high on his list, but the team is typically like, nah, we're too busy. Very unlikely, to be honest. Overhauling a UI, especially such a complex UI as we have, and we already put a lot of work and thought into the UI. And it's also finicky, it's something that developed over 5 years. And I mean, there's a reason why Tito back then has been, as a UI designer, has been working 5 years constantly, every day on the UI. And then T's, our UI programmer, also designed with it. This, 2 full-time positions have been working on the UI in the implementation. It's a huge task for a big game like EVERSPACE 2. So, to manage expectations, no plans for any major changes to the UI or the UX.
Cool. Yeah, it's things that we hear, and not everything that you guys will mention or bring to our attention and say, oh, you give us the feedback. We do listen to it, we do discuss it, but there isn't always the opportunity to do anything about it. That doesn't mean that we've ignored it. It's just that physically either there's not the time, or as Michael said, it's taken several years to do what we've actually done with the UI as such. So it's not going to be something that we can pursue easily. So yeah, definitely not something for down the line. Question from Flory actually over on Twitch, and he's just wondering when we have you on for our Michael Selects screenshots that you do choose, and then you give us some of your feedback. They'd like to know how long it actually takes you to put those together.
It's not too long, actually. It's so I typically browse through Discord, and then I also go on Steam, and then you can check for the most voted screenshots the last week, month, quarter, half a year, and year, and then I typically goes back 3 to 6 months, and then I collect the shots. I'd say collecting the shots takes about a day or so, and then depending clever I want my commentary to be on that. Maybe another day to put something up there. And then, of course, the more you do this, the more what I say about those screenshots becomes the same. So this is why I felt the new factor, the wow factor of me picking the shots and then saying something. It felt like I'm kind of repeating myself because I typically look for the same. I look for something that could be a marketing shot, like a money shot. But if I find some time, I'm happy to do a few more. Again, the screenshots are fantastic, but also like Gary, what you are doing, so that you are now taking the screenshots and then post these in our internal Slack, and then the entire team can vote on those. It's very interesting to see what the team favorites are. Yeah. So I think there's more legitimacy to our team votes than to my votes, but let's see. Maybe I can sprinkle in a few more next year.
Cool. Yeah, it was just an idea that we had that we were getting so many wonderful screenshots, and we always have, and I think it's testament to how our game is so gorgeous that I thought, well, why should it just be that myself or Eric picking those screenshots? Really, we could throw it up into the team and say, hey, pick these. You know, which one do you like the best? The biggest problem I have is actually getting the team just to pick one favorite. This is the problem. Everybody just mashes the buttons. It's like, I like that one. I like that one. No,
this one is awesome. Yeah, no, this one is awesome too. Yeah, of course, they're all awesome.
They can't just pick one. They pick one. But it's nice that they get to see it, and then they kind of interact, and then which one.
Now you can feel the pain in marketing. If then Tony takes sometimes Tony takes, I don't know, 20, 50 shots.
Yeah.
And it's like, Tony, do we have shots for the new expansion, whatnot? Then he hammers out the shots, and you're like, oh, this one is good, this one is good, this one is good, this one is good. Which one should we take? Then you have to boil it down to 2 or 3. So
yeah. Right. Kind of we're looking back at obviously 2024 with these videos and blog posts and everything that we're kind of putting together. Looking back at this year, do you have a personal highlight that you think, this kind of defines the year for me?
Yeah, that's easy. After the hard reset we had to do with our studio, winning the best game, the best German game, the German Computer Game Awards, which is our biggest award there, also comes with a lot of prize money, I gotta say. But if you lose your studio, if you have to start all over again, and then you almost start from scratch, and then the team jumped ship and trusted in Christian and myself and our leadership, and work your way up pretty much bootstrapped, and then have this reward after pretty much 10 years. That was very rewarding, and I really enjoyed this. And when I took the stage, I tried to enjoy this for a few seconds before I gave my acceptance speech, and I always say I felt like my knees were shaking, my voice was trembling. And I watched the YouTube, so can you see this? But actually you can't, but I felt it. I was so excited. And it was such a relief, because we've been nominated so many times for best game, best graphics, best game design. And every time somebody else won, fair and square. But this was really the biggest one. And then when EVERSPACE 2 came out as the winner, that was extremely rewarding. And it also had the upside that Michael Kellner is the politician who runs the government grant for game studios in Germany. So I could have a chat after he handed out the prize, and then we met at where you do your photos and whatnot. And I could really thank him how helpful this new program is to help independent studios like us stay independent and make sure that once you complete your game, then you're able to do the next one. You don't have to ramp up and down your team as it's typically the case in game development. So that was really good. So I kind of made it into the inner circle of the Berlin politician scene, talking about games, and did whatever I could do to say thank you, and also help them to get a better feeling really how effective this is. And fingers crossed, they're talking about a new program coming up next year, and then obviously we want to submit a new project. And see how that goes. So
cool. I always remember watching the awards ceremony live. Couldn't understand a word of it because it was all in German, but I kind of got the gist of it. And I always remember at that moment that EVERSPACE 2 was read out as the winner. I remember seeing you and just the sheer emotion that yes, I finally, after all the hard work that we'd gone through and everything. Yeah, because it was also, we were nominated for best sound, best graphic, or best game design. I forgot. It's like in 3 other categories. Yeah.
And I thought, oh well, it would be fair if we win this, and then somebody else won it. And we're like, okay. And then it was the final one. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Again, we're not gonna win this? Really? Yeah, but then
no, good. No. I know we did highlight it in the earlier video, but yeah, it was definitely a highlight for the year for everybody. It's nice to be recognised across the nation essentially, and even more so across the world. Now, finally, before we kind of go on to our second part of our video, we've got one more kind of question I want to squeeze in. You're obviously a passionate gamer. You've been playing a long time. If you could have been involved in the development of one game, just one, which one would you have loved to have been involved in?
Oh man, that's a tough one because I really played a lot. I mean, I started playing on the Atari ST back then, ST.
Yeah.
Then C64. I played pretty much everything that was available. PlayStation 2, played a lot of Halo 1, 2, 3, Gears of War 1, 2, 3. Really enjoyed it. Lotto, Lord of the Rings Online. Lord of the Rings Online I played for 5 years.
Yeah.
But the most hours I spent in Destiny. And to me, Destiny 2, I got it through the PS Plus back then when it was part of this monthly subscription thing.
Yep.
And man, I was hooked. And this is where I understood what the team wanted to do when they came up with this Diablo looter shooter core loop. And when they pitched it for EVERSPACE 2, so the internal pitch line was Diablo meets freelancer. And I remember I played Diablo, I think the first one, and I got butchered by the butcher so heavily. I was like, man, this is way too hard. This is not for me. And then I was like, I don't know. Again, I was very skeptic. But then I played Destiny, and then I got this, okay, we kind of have what Destiny has. We have the very good gunplay, but in space. We have, like Destiny has their planets, we do have our star systems, and then we have the campaign, but we also have these repeatable HRAs, the rifts and whatnot. So basically the structure is almost like, not almost, but it's quite similar to Destiny 2. And I still find myself firing it up. And even though the onboarding in Destiny, hopefully Bungie is not listening, is terrible. It's really bad. I was like, dude, is this your first game? Terrible. But here's the thing. If the onboarding is so bad, but it's such a successful title, they do a lot of things right.
Yes.
So, and the whole... The way they designed the world, everything was fantastic. I mean, it's basically an old game. The textures are not too high res and everything, but it looks fantastic. And Uwe and I had the pleasure to meet the art director of Destiny at Reboot 3, 4, 5 years ago. Awesome chap. And Sussman is his name. And he walked us a bit through the design process at Bungie, and really enjoyed it. So long story short, if I could pick only one, it'll be Destiny 2.
Destiny 2.
And then the expansion, is it Forsaken? With the prisoner thing? I think it's Forsaken. Man, this is when the series fired on all these cylinders, when Kate goes down and then into the abyss of the prison, and then you have to chase these 8 barons. I was like, good times. Good times.
You can see the passion there for specifically that game. So I didn't think it would be a tough choice for you, but I had to ask, and I'm like Michael. I've played Lord of the Rings Online. I still play it even 17 years later. We started back in 2007, and we still play it now. So it's a great game. Is Destiny 2, and I've kind of got into Path of Exile 2 now. So yeah, I'm feeling the pain of when it comes to like an action RPG and, you know, getting splattered a bit like meeting the butcher in Diablo. So yeah, it's quite painful. Right. Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much for that. It's kind of, I expected us to chat for a while, and, you know, we have done that indeed. And I hope you folks at home have enjoyed it too. It's a nice little insight that we do with these dev interviews. We have got more coming in the new year. We've got some more of the devs lined up to join us, and hopefully some of the voice actors as well will come on, which would be nice. So all good, power to that. What we're going to do now is we're going to do the second part of the kind of look back at the year, and then we're going to switch over to our community segment. Michael's still going to join us for that as we go through all of the screenshots, etc., and then the final part, which I'm sure you're all waiting for. But here we are with the end of the year, part 2. As with all updates, a few bugs crept in, and the team were heavily invested in fixing those up. A couple of patches across the month alleviated most of the problems in what is a constant process. And a big thank you, as always, to the players for reporting any issues that they find. All the work that the team did in updating the game engine to Unreal Engine 5 was highlighted this month by Epic in a wonderful editorial piece with Casper and Marco from the team. It included a deep focus on how the team implemented the new Lumen global illumination lighting, dealt with the challenges switching game engines, and if there are any tips and tricks they can pass on to fellow developers looking to make the generational leap to the latest Unreal Engine. Fan art is always a favourite of our streams, and one such unique creation was a Lego-inspired bomber by VT Nachos on Rebrickable. A stunning creation and an amazing homage to our game. Eric was speechless. Not a common occurrence.
I don't even have words. This is incredible. The amount of detail in this build, it gets better. Look at this. Look at the underside. Like, he's got it all covered. It's all there, ladies and gentlemen. Every single part and piece, and like, wow!
In collaboration with Alienware, who we've worked alongside to bring EVERSPACE 2 to the masses at conventions and shows previously, we worked on a free ship skin that reflected their high-tech PCs and colour scheme. Here's Eric showing off the skin in-game.
Last but not least, I do want to jump into this Alienware style, which truly makes your ship look like an expensive PC. I love it. Looks like it's going to play some serious games. It's fit with the logo itself slapped on the side. We got Alienware there, and it's incredibly sleek looking, including the Alienware lights that come packaged on their products. So it's incredibly authentic.
Pilot polls made their first appearance on our Discord, with the community voting exactly which ship they thought was the best. In typical fashion, we had a three-way tie as the Interceptor, Bomber and Gunship all took the mantle of favourite player ship. Even more fan art this month. Long-term fan and community member Bearded Frog brought his A game with the 1990s style gaming magazine featuring Gary and Eric as the front cover stars. A dubious honour indeed. As we rolled into July, our ROCKFISH recaps returned with Eric looking extremely smart, bringing a roundup of what's happened over the past couple of months. He even tried to cure my insomnia with his deep lore knowledge recital.
These things I think are kind of obscure lore, so like nobody cares.
As the month progressed, people were wondering exactly what was next for the team. And whilst we didn't reveal anything until the following month, we did have a tease ready for players to know that something very big was coming their way. Busiest month by far for the team this year, with conventions, meetups and a very large reveal. EVERSPACE 2 Titans was just around the corner. Not only did we reveal the first paid expansion for EVERSPACE 2, we gave our players a hands-on experience on the convention floor at Gamescom. Michael, Lee, Gary and Jeremy were all in attendance to meet our fans and talk with the industry. We even had some players trying the game on Nightmare. Whilst most of the crew were in Cologne for Gamescom, Eric was holding the fort for the team and was showing off even more of the content coming with Titans in our special reveal streams.
So here we have to detect a weak point for our wingman. And as you can see, actually, from our looking around, we have this right here.
Deep diving into the Leviathan, as well as showing off some of the new items coming with the DLC, all aimed at expanding the game and bringing more content to the players.
So what I have here is I have the full-blown power oscillator set for you, okay? This is one of the new sets that you can get specifically from the Dreadnought mission chain.
Players didn't have to wait long, as the launch date for Titans was revealed to be less than 3 weeks away on September the 16th. And additionally, Michael even unveiled more content was coming in 2025.
I think the best news of all is because we got this amazing government grant from the German government. We were able not only to keep our team, but even to ramp it up, to make more content than we thought. So the real big expansion is going to come next year. We already shared a little bit about this. There are going to be new star systems. There's going to be a new campaign and actually more playership that you can check out. So a lot of things that you can look forward to next year.
And not to feel left out.
Yeah, and I think we have something we have to say. Let's say bye, Gary. Bye, Gary.
Perfect. Love it. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Bye-bye.
Oh dear, that was so funny, so funny. Right, let's bring everybody back in. We've got Michael with us again over there. There we go. And yeah, that was a second part of the look back of the year. Some great highlights there. Obviously, the biggie for us was Gamescom and Titans, and showing it off to the fans. Thoroughly enjoyable, exhausting time. We had so many people come to the booth there for like the 5 days, but it was truly wonderful to get the game into the players' hands, and I think everybody on the team enjoyed it immensely. But we have a part three coming up, which you don't want to miss. Big hint, do not miss it. Do not disappear. Do not do anything unless your house is on fire and you're in danger. Obviously, we'll let you. But for the time being, we've got something that you might be interested in. But we're at that point now where we need to look at some screenshots. Now, specifically this time, we are going to be looking at the screenshot of the year for 2024. Now, before we do that, I do have another screenshot that I need to bring in. There we go. Let me just go to F11 there, and I'll just zoom in. It is a screenshot technically. However, this is the poll that we ran very, very recently on our Discord, and we asked you guys over there, who is your favorite EVERSPACE 2 character? Now, obviously, we touched on it with Michael, who loved Fallon Pango, who's there down right at the bottom. Whereas you can see in the middle, the majority of people loved Hive. He's the wonderful choice. He's the sarcastic entity that follows you around in your ear all the time. And for those of you who don't know, Hive is actually an acronym for Human Interface Virtual Entity, and that's why he's so called. You know, I didn't actually know. I'd forgotten. But yeah, he's a wonderful character. I know when I was in my playthrough earlier, when Maddox was just yap, and everybody was like, throw him out the airlock, we don't like him, get rid of him and everything. You can see why he got 0 votes as well down there. He's like, no, nobody likes you, Maddox, go away. Nobody wants you, get gone. 0 votes. Get out the airlock. But I think that's actually testament to how well the character is written, because you actually dislike him because of how he interacts with the other characters. His actions and his words, I know obviously that kind of person you don't like, but as a character, he does fit the narrative very, very well. So yeah, let's not talk about Ben. Yeah, he got 0 votes as well, but, but hey, he can't help it. He had to share the limelight with Dax for a while, so, he kind of got pushed out there. But anyway, screenshot of the year 2024. We asked you to send us your entries onto our Discord for what has been your favorite screenshots that you've taken. Normally, I'll go around, I will pick from the community, wherever it's socials, whether it's our Discord, whether it's Steam, wherever it is posted, I will go around each week and pick out the screenshots that I see. And then I'll put them to the team and see what they think. But this time, I wanted you specifically to say, hey, this is what I think is my best screenshot, and you sent them in. And the team have gone through them and decided. So, without further ado, let's go through all the ones. First up is this one from Fussel97, who actually did write a little piece, a little tagline for it. And he said, for me, EVERSPACE is and always will be my go-to place to obliterate stuff in all different fun ways possible the game offers. Now, I think you can actually see that on his wing, he does have the death from above, and he's really hammering that destroyer from above with his rockets. And I'm a bit of a lover of depth of field shots. I always turn depth of field off in a game, but I do love it in screenshots when you're focusing on something and there's always something in the background. So I did love this shot. There was so many I did like as well, but it was down to the team. It was down to the team. I had no influence on this whatsoever. But Fussel97, thank you for that screenshot. It's a wonderful composition. And yeah, you are definitely giving death from above to that destroyer. Next up, we have Kiroto JPK. And this one was all about the focus of the eyes. As I zoom in on the eyes, it's all about the eyes. And their little tagline was, I'm watching you. And it's something very spooky, very creepy about it. That there's something in the deep. Definitely something there, spying on you, keeping an eye on you, watching your movements. And do you need to go too close to it? Because what's there? Who knows? It's a scary situation. So maybe you don't want to. Maybe you don't want to. But yeah, Kirito JPK, thank you for that one. That is I'm watching you. Next up, we have Percival. There are no notes for this one, but without a shadow of doubt, it's flame, fire, and go faster stripes for me for this one. I think the explosions, the whole destruction on display with the reds, the oranges, and the drone carrier going down. I mean, there's such, emphatic destruction going on in that screenshot that you just don't know where to look. The explosion here, explosion there, the engines, the coloration even matches the explosions. Great screenshot, and that Stinger is doing some wonderful pain to that drone carrier, but absolutely a wonderful shot. But next up we have one from Kizor. Now, Kizor has put some wonderful screenshots up in their time, nice, as most people have. And this one, they actually said they don't feel it's their best screenshot, but it's probably their favorite, which is the EVA Cater 01. Now, green as green can be, but you can see, again, depth of field, very, very nice. You can, the blur at the front, but then the focus. And do you know what I was fascinated when I looked at this screenshot is when I really zoomed in, is the detail that the team actually put into the ship. Because you can see the ports where the missiles are going to be coming out, the rockets are going to be coming out. You can just see every little switch. And then there's the danger sign. So many people will never have seen that on the ship. But there's just these tiny little things that are just there, these little nuances, little labels, and, not just the decals that the player puts on the ship themselves, but it is such a well-compositioned shot, and, again, testament to the team's ability to create such wonderful-looking ships. And that one was from Kizor. Next up, we are into Winged Nightmare, and this one, they said, so, have you found a reason to fight yet, buddy? Now, obviously, they're there flying next to an outlaw that doesn't seem to be in very much of an attacking mode. So whether it's for, just feeling like it needs some time off from being blown up by Winged Nightmare's gunship, but the colorations on this with the ice blue, the white, it seems such a cold environment. And to match the ship to the environment and the engines, and obviously the supporter pack elements are in there as well. I think it's such a wonderful yet cold kind of screenshot. and thoroughly well thought of as well. And you can see why they wanted to put this one in as their best shot, because I really like this, even though it's cold at this time of year. So next up, we're moving along to a name of a person that I will probably butcher, but their first name is Kelly and their second name is Hsueh, Hsueh, and I apologize profusely if I have actually butchered that one. But their screenshot of this is titled "Breathe In, Breathe Out, Meditate in the Tranquility of the Galaxy." Now, we've had such action in some of the other screenshots that you could just imagine that this was your vista from your hotel, room in the future, and you could just take that in and just chill out and relax. Just enjoy the panorama in front of you. Just enjoy the vista, and you'd be like, yeah, get out of the rat race for a little while and just chill and enjoy. Put your feet up.
Yes. There's one little story I think I'd like to share, because you
Cool.
said breathe in, breathe out, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So when I have this old Beamer. It's like almost 40 years old, and every sunny Sunday I take it on a tour, and then I listen to some Pink Floyd.
Yes. Yeah.
There's one track where I have this breathe in, breathe out,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I don't know which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, this is so cool. This is so spacey.
Yeah.
And then on Monday, I went back to Gero and said, dude, can you do something like Pink Floyd, like the guitar?
Yeah.
Like it's very old school, but make something like Pink Floyd, is breathe in, breathe out. And I played it to him. And guess what? This became the travel music of Drake. And pretty much he nailed it.
Mhm.
So the next day he came back, do you mean something like this? And I was like, this is awesome. I love it. So the music that you hear in Drake when you in Superlight came from me taking my old Beamer for a spin, listening to Pink Floyd, breathe in, breathe out, and then going back to Gero. I want to have something like this in the game.
Wow, that's a story now. I mean, this is how things kind of develop. If people have an idea, and thank you very much for sharing that with us, Michael. That is just absolutely superb. That it's a style that you enjoyed just on one of your trips with your BMW, and unbelievable. Yeah. So this is from Kelly, and like I said, the tranquility of the galaxy is there for all to see. And testament again to the team for the wonderful environments that they create. So next up, Spook Night. You made it with this wonderful shot, and they'd actually said that while simple, I found that the Leviathan encounter locations have tremendous atmospheric value, which is why I most like this particular flyby screenshot. And again, the environments that are available in the game, especially with the new ones with the Leviathan, do bring that certain atmosphere. And with this shot, the contrast of the ship in the corner, but I imagined that they have just flown through this cloud mass and just punctured that hole with their ship just to create all the vortices and just push it out of the way. But top work there, Spook. Very, very impressive. And I'm glad that kind of you can always extrapolate a story from somebody's screenshot. But yeah, top work. Next up, we've seen this one very recently, and this one's from Wizard Jerry. And the irony was that he did say, I don't take screenshots very often, but I think this is the best I can do. And I think it's a great screenshot. That Dreadnought, the Minakawa, is going to get full force of a cruise missile right in the middle of it. But to be fair to Wizard Jerry, he's too busy ripping apart our riffs on 2K with aplomb, and he's not bothered about taking screenshots. He's just like, just give me the worst ship you can, and I'll just rip through a 2K riff without your care or leave. And to be fair, it is a great screenshot. It shows off the vastness of that behemoth, that titan that is the Dreadnought. And I know people are always saying, hey, look at all the lightsabers going off. It's like the battleground from a Star Wars film. Love it. Right, scooting on, this one is from Flory. Again, another Vista, and this one, Flory says, scavenging through all my screenshots, this one felt like the best one I've taken this year. And to be fair, I like this one because this could be a desktop, quite easily a desktop. I mean, it could even be a thumbnail that we use in the future, something like that, because I think it has the atmosphere of the coldness and the environment off to the left with the greens and the blue hues, and then you've got the heat and the power from that star on the side. And it's such a divide. It's almost like a diagonal divide. But Flory, great screenshot. Very impressive, my friend. Very impressive. And yeah, one that the team thoroughly enjoyed. Now, we are just going to tickle in nearly into the top 5. So we're into the top 5. So in 5th place, this one from Typed Kibbles. So this one is said, I had so many screenshots and it was really hard to decide which one to post, but after thinking about it for a long time, it had to be this one. And it's a great shot. And the reason is this, again, there's so much detail that you can look at on the ship. You can see the kind of the rings of the station where maybe there's habitat rings, there's the docking, there's the landing pad in the distance. Obviously, you've got the planet, you've got the star, and then you've got your nebula over to the left, and everything that... What I saw when I first looked at this, I saw everything else, and then I didn't even see the ship at the top. Everything kind of just distracted away from it. But then when you look at the screenshot, it's a bit like Spook Night, where it's almost like the ship has flown through and then actually destroyed the center mast of the space station. It's like, oh, I just clipped it. Sorry, you know, you clipped somebody's wing mirror and just carried on the way, never to be seen again. So yeah, definitely a wonderful composition from Type Kibbles. Well done on that one. Loved it. Next up. Is from, and again, I may have butchered this name. I did have to translate, but it's a new member on our Discord, Laplace and Sanya, I think they are called. And theirs was very dramatic, but their title for this was Hit the Floor, Obstacles Are Phantom When You're in the Spirit. Now, the Dreadnought, I think, and this environment particularly where you get to encounter the Dreadnought is so atmospheric with the red, the green, and then they completely contrast it with the bright blue of the front shield, which I thoroughly love, because it's like everything could be too red or everything could be too dark, and then no, we're going to really punch it with the front shield. And I think it's a great shot with the Blood Star decal on the side, which I think is fabulous too. Well played on that one. Now, we are into 3rd place of the choices. And this one goes to Mama. This one, they said, the scenery around Pelemon's wound never fails to amaze me. And honestly, I think it's one of the favourite environments within the game. When you see the planet being destroyed as it is, and the environment and the destruction all around it. It is a fantastic place to visit, and one that I think everybody that's played the game has enjoyed. I don't think anybody said, no, I didn't like that place. I don't want to go there ever again. But it is wonderful, and fair play to the... Michael, out of interest, do you actually know who came up with the idea for a planetoid to be destroyed like that?
That's a good one. Either Marco, our lead artist, came up by this himself, or actually Uwe put it in as a request as a creative director. I don't know. But probably either of the two. Cool.
Yeah, see, nice little backstories. We can get this little bit of information. Yeah, a great shot there from Tumama. A wonderful shot of Pelemon's wound. Now, in 2nd place, we have this shot from the Oracle of Liana. They said, my favourite screenshot that I've taken all year because I love nothing more than the chaos of battle, and this game is perfect for delivering exactly that. Now, that's a wonderful sentiment, not only for our game, but obviously the screenshot that they've taken. Obviously, incursions, so much going on, a wonderful environment in the background. They've just destroyed the shielding on the beacon, and they're blasting in with a bomber, giving it all with the rockets and everything. And yeah, there's so much activity going on there. It's such a contrast to... Obviously, what we've seen on the other screenshots of the tranquility, and then we're all action here, and this is what we're definitely about. So, yeah, a great shot. And sadly, we always, somebody has to lose out, but we do have a winner. And this one, I think, is very deserving, and the team thought that as well. I don't vote in these votes. It's all down to the team, and they chose this one as their favourite. And it is... Well, what can you say? XL a wonderful screenshot taken in super light, and they said, I've decided to pick the shot as I've had a ton of fun doing super light photography this year. Nevertheless, a proper photo mode is in super light is high on my wish list. So they had to put a request in there as well. But yeah, I mean, what can you say? It is a superb shot. The detail, the planet again, the team, the artistry is just fantastic. You know, the 3 planets and the star in the distance. It's a worthy winner, and I think we can have a round of applause for Excel there. A great shot. I will be bestowing the title and the role on you on our Discord of Screenshot Winner 2024. We've got that one lined up for you, and we will do more of these in the future. And definitely do more of these in the future. Normally we wrap up about now. You can tell that we're way over time, but you know, because it's the last one of the year, we've got still a few things to kind of get through. But don't go anywhere, because we're going to play part 3, and I really don't want anyone to miss this. Although you can always watch it on the VOD afterwards. But we are going to switch to the end of year video part 3. Watch all the way to the end.
There's more. It's really worth it. It is.
Titans dominated September as we released the DLC to our players. Battles against the Dreadnought and investigations of the Leviathan finally landed as an embellishment to our existing base game. Not only did we have repeatable content, but a flurry of new items, consumables, legendaries, item sets, and new achievement unlocks all landed within the DLC. A substantial amount of new features allow players further scope and tweakability for their ships and playstyle. Rounding out the month, Lee and Jeremy attended the Tokyo Game Show, where we showed off EVERSPACE 2 and Titans to our Japanese fans and had plenty of biz dev opportunities whilst there too. Japan has some super passionate fans, and the team love to visit as often as we can. Kicking off October saw us release our first post-Titans hotfix. This addressed some of the issues that had arrived with the DLC. Game tweaks and bug fixes are all down to the reports and feedback from the community, which we're forever thankful for, as they help us make a better game for you, our fans. Another Rockfish recap made its way out the door as we revisited what had happened over the summer months, which, as we'd highlighted earlier, was our most hectic time of the year. Coverage of Gamescom, updates, a stream visit from Michael, our CEO, for Michael Selects, and obviously the release of Titans all made the beat. New stream features appeared in the form of uplifting fellow indie devs with a featurette of selected smaller teams who are on their own development journey. Expect to see more of these in the future. We also started to introduce a much-loved feature of Rockfish Dev Interviews, where we have the members of the dev team answer questions about their work and gaming background, just to peel away the mystery of game development just a little.
With quality management, there's like tiny bit more, like another layer coming to that, so maybe like more organization of actual like test cycles or stuff like that. So pretty much daily business to organize tests with the team, actually do the testing, like writing the test plans.
Big thanks to Jan, our quality assurance manager, for being our first victim, volunteer. Sadly, we had to say goodbye to my banter buddy and the tallest half of the community manager team, Rockfish friend and fan, Eric.
I'm leaving Rockfish soon. And I know this is going to come as a complete surprise to you all. And you're all probably thinking, what happened? Oh my gosh. Guys, everything is on great terms.
After several years with the team, first as a backer, then a moderator, and eventually working full-time for Rockfish as a community manager, Eric departed, taking steps into a new adventure. Safe travels, pilot. We wish you all the best. We drafted in another Rockfish dev this month for an interview. This time, Torben, one of our senior gameplay programmers, stepped up to the plate to talk about their role and journey into game development.
The job of a gameplay programmer contains, of course, depending on the company probably, but in our case at Rockfish, it's quite a big variety of things.
Additionally, we heard the call from the community that they'd like to ask some questions themselves. So who are we to deny our fans the opportunity as we opened up the Rockfish Game Dev Interview Question Forum on our Discord. Get those questions in, as we might just ask them in our future interviews. Screenshots and fan art are always a staple of the community segments of our streams, and with such glorious pictures being taken each month by our community, we felt it only just that the Rockfish Game Dev team get involved too. For each stream, the community team picks out a top 10 of screenshots from the previous weeks and get the whole dev team to vote for their favourite. There's been some absolute crackers that really show off our game. In addition to our streams, we had Michael interview some fellow indie devs whilst we were at Gamescom, which allowed us to put out small shout-outs for them via our socials. Working in a very competitive industry and breaking through the noise means that every little helps, not only for us, but other smaller teams. You can check out some of the great projects on our YouTube channel. So here we are, the last month of what has been a very busy 2024 for Rockfish, and we're always thankful for the support of the players and the community. You really are the reason we make video games. Through feedback, ideas, desires and bug reports, you help us make a better game. And as you can see, reaching 10,000 very positive reviews on Steam is testament to that support. But as you know, we're not finished with EVERSPACE 2. The whole dev team are working hard on creating a new, bigger expansion for 2025. And we can't end the year without a little tease. Now can we? Did everybody notice anything at the end? Didn't see a thing. Told you we'd have a little tease. So, we've heard people. We know what people have said. And I'm sure at some point we will be heading back.
We know what people have said.
Oh, there we go. Michael's on. Have you seen his microphone back on?
I have to mute.
But yeah, just to kind of clarify a little bit there, that is just a tiny, titty, small little sneak peek behind everything that is going to be coming your way. But yeah, we will be revealing more details in 2025. So but we thought we can't end the year without giving you just a little tease to whet your appetite for the next month or so. You know, let's be fair. You know, we've got a busy period, and you know, the new year, and then we've all got to get back to work and everything else. So we thought it'd be a nice little finale there for 2025. But before we go, I need to talk about a few little things just to wrap everything up and get it all tucked away for the year. So some of you BDI people have actually noticed something that I'm wearing. It's the new Bob t-shirt. Oh yes, Bob. This is actually available, some merchandise for you to purchase. Available from the IGN store. Yes, I'm sorry, it is in reverse because my camera is the other way around. Yeah, I have to reverse my camera. So it is Bob. Either way you look at it, really. But yes, it is available, but it is only available in the US currently, I'm afraid. So if you're in the US, then you can purchase it there. But we're hoping to expand our merch in the future. So do keep your eyes peeled for more information of that going forward. If over this festive period you think, I like somebody enough, I think that they should have EVERSPACE 2. Well, lucky for you, we've got loads of sales on at the moment. And at the deepest discount, if I'm not incorrect, of 65% off EVERSPACE 2 currently on Steam. 65%? Bargain. Buy two. But yeah, you can get EVERSPACE 2 65% off, and also Titans is 20% off as well as the supporter pack as well. So if you fancy dipping your hand into your pockets, some of them are quite deep, buy some of those, give them to friends, get them out the door, have them a Merry Christmas and everything. That would be fan-blooming-tastic. Also, the digital art book and the official soundtrack is on 35% off as well. If you also like Everspace 1 and you want to try what we've been talking about earlier, the non-sequel to, or prequel rather, to Everspace 2, it's now at the massive discount of 95% off, which I think is the deepest discount, if I remember, Michael, we've ever done on that. That's phenomenal.
No excuse now.
No excuse. You've got to dive in and have the torment that, you know, everybody had to go through, and then you realize, the penny drops. It is a good game. But that's available there, as well as the encounters of 85% off. And if you want to get the deluxe edition upgrade, that's 85% off as well. Another bargain. We're just giving you all these Christmas present ideas. You won't have a problem. Similarly, if you prefer your flavor of games being on GOG, then the discounts there are there for you for the games as well. Do dive in. Xbox is also on sale for the Everspace 2 variant. Yes, 65% off there. Bargain. Oh, God, you just don't know what's good for you, do you? You need to go buy all these things. And then PlayStation, finally, we have the Stellar Edition at 80% off of Everspace 1 over there. So, but I believe that finishes today. I think that finishes today. So if you're going to grab that, then definitely do so right now before you run out of time. And I've just looked at the time. I have a timer on my screen, and I've just realized how far we are over. I think this is probably one of the longest streams we've ever done. Just to wrap up, Michael, is there anything that you'd like to say to our community and our fans before we finish the year?
Yeah, there's one more thing. We just have a bundle started with the nice guys from Hutlitude, and they did Void Crew. So if you're up for some co-op space game, and you already own Everspace 2, you get an extra 5% discount on whatever they're running, and vice versa. So we're partnering with them. We're working also with the nice guys at Focus Entertainment. They are the publisher, so they set this up. So this is something that's up there. And other than that, well, I mean, again, without our community, we wouldn't be here. It's a privilege that we can make what we are passionate about. And you guys supporting us, and so we keep doing what we're, I think, best at, and hope that you will enjoy the expansion, and there will be more news about this very, very soon.
Cool. Yeah, just to echo that, yeah, it's been a wonderful year all round for us at ROCKFISH. We've achieved so much, and I hope you've enjoyed the look back at everything that we've done over the year. It's only that, and the team have said themselves, it's good to reflect what we've actually achieved and what we've actually done, because there's many points in the year where we just kind of, you're plowing through the work and you're banging stuff out there and you think, wow, we've actually done a real lot there. And I think we've got more to come. So don't you worry. 2025 is going to be special as well. And for me, it's an absolute pleasure to be your community manager. I do thoroughly enjoy it, and I think Michael enjoys me doing the job as well. So I'm still here, so we'll go with that. We'll say that. Yeah.
No complaints.
No complaints. That's always good. I'll take that as a win. That's a win. But as always, thank you for being awesome. You really are a wonderful bunch of people, and we can't wait to show you what is coming next. Do you know what we will end with? I think we should show the teaser again, and I'm going to wish you a very happy festive period, however you celebrate it, and be safe, be happy, and we'll see you in the new year. Enjoy the trailer again. Bye.
Bye, guys.